Hey all, this is Liver. Recently I've gotten a lot of questions on exactly how do you pad a fursuit head built by us at Just for Kicks. I'm not going to use a customer's fursuit head, as one, it may not fit them if I alter it, and number two, I'm going to use my fursuit head, which is Donald of my persona, to illustrate how I padded him. He was made by Beast Cub, and he needed to be padded as well to better fit me, to get his jaw to work. Okay. When you receive your fursuit head in the mail from us at Just for Kicks, you should receive a little bag of scrap. This is foam. It's white. It's normal density foam, or you'll receive some green foam and white foam. It depends on what I have scrap available. Okay. It could be bigger chunks than this or smaller chunks. But this is used for padding. And I will explain later on in this video where all these things go and how they work. You also receive a piece of flimsier material. It's also like a foam. We call it foamies. If you need more, you can get them from the dollar store. You can also get them from any craft store. You can even get them from Walmart for like $4. But that's up to you. I try to supply a big enough piece that you can make a couple of support pieces out of, okay? And like again, I'll show you where they all go and how I've used them. Okay. So, the first thing we're going to cover is some typical problems that happen when you're trying your fursuit head on for the first time. Some people, it fits exactly right for them for the first time. Some people, it doesn't. What you'll need to do is, as stated in my other video, because the jaws are separate, just like Beast Cubs, okay? You will have to do the final adjustments yourself. I can't do it because you're not here in my studio in front of me. If you were, I could definitely do it. And I've had people come over who have who live in the area, and I've actually tweaked the jaw and got everything set up for them. So that's one of the benefits about being a local. But if you're not local, you'll have to adjust it yourself. Now I'm going to show you a common problem. Okay, common problem is the jaw is sitting way far back like this. Okay, what you'll need to do is you'll need to take your foamy sheet. I'll show you how to do this. And you'll cut a strip and you'll add it to the back of the jaw. See, I've done that to Donald's already. That black piece was not there. His was originally red, but I added an extra piece. So what it does is when I wear him, it pushes his jaw out farther. So that way his jaw moves freely like this. Okay? Another problem that you might encounter is the jaw is sticking out like this. Okay? What you'll need to do in order to fix that is right in here, which is the brim of the hat that's inside, you'll have to take a strip of foamy sheet and put it in here. You might need 3, 4, or 5. Sometimes less, sometimes more. For Donald, I have 4 inside of his head, and I'll show you that as well. That's to push the head away from your face so that the jaw lines up correctly. Okay? If you're having an issue where it's very close to meeting up, but it's not exactly there, you might have to add a little bit of foamy sheet to here, which is the back of the jaw, and to the top of the hat brim. Okay? If you have a problem where the jaw, which is the 2 side pieces for the jaw, is pressing against the jaw so that it's hanging open like this all the time, okay, you may need to add some foam on the inside, and I'll show you where, to possibly push this out more so that the jaw has more room as it's sitting on your face. Okay, this is something that you're going to have to play with. I had to do it myself. Okay, now I'm going to show you how you would do this. What you would do in order to pad the back of this jaw piece, you take a pair of scissors, okay, and a hot glue gun. I'm not going to glue it because mine doesn't need it, but I'm going to show you how to do it. You make a little strip, okay, out of the foamy, just like this, and you snip it, okay? And you take and measure it out so it sits right along just like that, okay? And then to make it, you would make sure it goes from end to end, and you would just gently snip off the end and see how it sits in there. That would be what we call an insert. Okay, so you want to put that, you would want to glue that insert down. And you'd put the glue on the back or on here, and you would stick it to it just like that. Okay, again, as you can see, the original one that was made was red. I added my own. This is a typical thing that you'll need to do. Okay, so that's the jaw issue. Now, the other one is on the inside of the head, and I will try to illustrate that the best I can. There is limited light, so I will also be using a cell phone light to try to show you how I did this. Okay, now, okay, here's the inside of Jonald's head. Okay, you can see, hopefully, that there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces of foamy sheets stacked on top of each other and glued into place. Okay, this pushes his head away from my face so that the jaw does not touch his upper snout. Okay. Again, this is a common thing. This is something that just has to be done. And you can see I hot glued it forever and a day ago. But there's like 4 or 5 layers in there. This black stuff is just paint. He was painted, I paint the inside of mine too, because he's just, as you can see, he's just white foam. Just like mine. And these are just foamy sheets glued. Okay, so that's what you would do. You would take the same strip, the same size strip that I had showed earlier. You might want to make it a little bit bigger, but you would want to glue it right at the brim of the hat to push the jaw away from your face. Okay, now if you have an issue where the sides of the head is touching you, or it's too loose in the back, you could cut a strip of this foam just like this. Get a good size piece. You could put it in the back like this and hot glue it in place, and this will actually make the hat smaller. Most of the hats I have are adjustable. See, like Jonald's hat has Velcro, mine do too. Also, you might find that on the side of the face you might need some foam put there to hold him better against your face. You would do the same thing by cutting 2 little strips and putting it on the sides, like right about here. And Jonald has a hole in his face. I did not know that. But that's what you would do. Okay, so it's not a difficult procedure. It is time consuming, to say the least, but the end result is well worth it. And the best thing I can tell anybody, I did this myself before knowing how to sew really well. I did this without help from anybody, really. I kindly asked the maker, hey, this doesn't fit me exactly right. And she explained it to me, what has to happen, because she's was in California and I'm here in the state of Maryland, so there's no way I can hop on a plane and be like, hey, fix this for me. So it's just something that you'll have to adjust. And the easiest way I would suggest any person to figure out if their jaw, their voice syncing jaw, is moving properly, is to get a mirror, put on your favorite song, and try to lip sync to it. That way you're looking through the fursuit head at the mirror and you can see if the jaw moves or not. You can also do that in your bathroom if you have a vanity in your bathroom. That's just my suggestion. But if you do it correctly, you shouldn't have any problems. I've had Donald going on almost 4 years now. Okay, and with any practice, you can get it to work just as well as Donald's. It just takes tweaking. And I hope that somebody finds the video. Excuse me. I always get hair in my mouth from him. I hope somebody finds this video somewhat resourceful. It would work for my costumes as well as Beast Cub's, or anybody's costume that they're really having a hard time trying to fit exactly to their face. And just to recap, foamy sheets, if you need more, you can get them at Walmart for like $4. You get a big old pack. You can also buy them individually, I think, for like 25 cents at AC Moore or maybe Joann's. Okay, craft stores. White foam or green foam you can get at Joann's. White foam you can also get at Walmart. It's about 18 bucks if you need a whole another yard of it. I don't think you should. But should you feel you need more, that's where you would get it from. Okay, so like I say, I hope the video was somewhat informative, and I hope that it shed some light on how to do that. Even though it's a personal costume, my fursuit heads for Just for Kicks are built on the same principle. So, thanks for watching. Again, I hope it was informative and it helped somebody.